Hi guys, welcome back to Blown Budget Garage. Today we got a couple of key things to get done. The first is I'm going to modify my carburetor because I think I have it dialed down to why I have to turn my idle screw up so high. The second is I'm going to get my B&M ratchet shifter in and my throttle cable hooked up so we can go through all of our gears. And then after that, if there's still time, I'm gonna go ahead and get these back brakes put back in because I got new drums, shoes, hardware, the works. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna go over my logic and thinking on this carburetor with y'all, and we'll go ahead and get it modified like I need to, and then we're gonna put it back in, start it up, and see what happens. So should be pretty fun. Stay tuned. All right guys, so here's my thinking with this carburetor. A lot of people have chimed in and I've gotten a lot of help and a lot of tips from a lot of really smart people. I had Joe at Just Mopar Joe trying to help me out. I had Dylan McCool, I'm sure you've seen his channel. He was trying to help me out. Had a lot of really smart guys give me their input. But I started thinking, and remember I vacuum tested the engine as it was running. And at 1500 RPMs, I'm only drawing in about 18 inches of mercury. My opinion is that is too low for how high of an RPM I was running at. And what would explain that is my overly aggressive cam. The other thing that will do is that will cause my engine to not be able to pull in as much air as it needs to because it's creating a low vacuum. So because of that, I'm having to turn my idle set screw up, right? So that I get enough airflow, so that I get enough air to be able to make my fuel combust. So in order to get around that, what we're doing, or what I did, is I drilled a hole here and here in my primary butterflies. Now my logic and my thinking is that with my idle screw then set all the way back out, I'm not dumping any excess fuel, right? And I have that hole to allow a little bit more airflow to come through. If I'm correct, I should be able to bolt this on, and I started with a small opening so I can move up. But if I am in fact correct, I'm gonna bolt this back on, get everything hooked back up, and when I start it up, I might not be where I'm at yet because I might have to continue to open up that hole, but we should be able to dial it in, and I should see my RPMs go way down while keeping the engine running. So fingers crossed we see improvement. If not, on to the next, idea. So I'm gonna get this on, and yeah, see you in a bit. Catastrophe. Yeah, on to the next catastrophe. See you in a bit. All right, guys. So I'll show y'all what drill bit I ended up having to use to make this all work, and then I'm gonna show you what we're doing next. Right here. Nope, that wasn't it. It was this one. That's right. All right, so 3/16. That's how big of a drill bit I had to use to drill a hole through those butterflies, and now everything is working a lot better, and as it should. I'll show you that here in just a bit. But next up is our ratchet shifter. I went ahead and picked up a B&M ratchet shifter. We're gonna get that in. Then we got our low car throttle cable. We're gonna get that in. And then we got our low car kickdown cable. And we're gonna get that in. And then what I'm gonna do is, once I get all this put into place and installed, I'm going to leave the car up, put it in gear, and then start it for y'all so you can hear how it's sounding at a more appropriate idle with it in gear, under load. So yeah, this is gonna suck because it's a lot of work. So that's where we're at. So the smart thing to do would have been to go ahead and put the seat right in here. But since you can see where the seat holes go, I can kind of get a determination on where I want this to sit. And this is pretty much right where I want it. So what we're going to do is, I got all these directions, and that's a lot of words to read, and I don't have a lot of time. But I did figure out that on the back page that I need this bracket and I need this lever, and I feel like I can figure out the rest. So first thing I'm going to do is get that bolted in, and then we're going to run some wire and see what happens. So as you can see, the way that the shifter sits, it's a little wobbly right there. Now sitting like this, it's pretty flush on this side. So I'm going to have to get some washers up underneath here and here after I take my drill bit and drill some holes. So we're going to just act like there isn't a transmission underneath here, and I'm just going to just send it. So that's the plan. Alright guys, so that took way longer than I thought, but check this out. I had to have my buddy Jeff give me a hand because you got to run the bolts, you know, through the top and then grab the nuts on the bottom. But check that out. Park, reverse, neutral, all of it. And because it's a ratchet, I can go ahead and bring it all the way down into first and then second, third. So now I'm going to get the, well, I could go ahead and dress it up and put the plastic and everything over it, and I'm just going to do that. Let's dress it up, that way I don't lose anything, and move on to the throttle cable and the kickdown cable. Alright guys, so I got everything dressed out on here. That popping that y'all keep hearing is that, which we found in the very first episode, but I got that all dressed out, and we're ready to start the engine up, put her in gear, and see if the wheels turn. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this up, and then we'll see how it sounds, and we'll see if our trans is working. So, I know what y'all are probably thinking. Well, he got the engine dialed in, and he got his shifter in. That's probably the end of the episode, right? Because usually I tell y'all I'm going to get a bunch done, and only get about half of it done. Well, guess what? Y'all are wrong. I'm still getting the throttle cable on. I'm still getting the kickdown cable on. I've been out here all day because that shifter was a pain in my rear end. I mean, it was... listen, I'd rather go back to my first wife, my first ex-wife. Definitely not my second ex-wife. I'd rather go back to my first ex-wife than ever have to deal with that again. That's how bad it was. And if you're wondering, yes, I've been married 3 times. So, you know, just like my luck with cars, sometimes you got to get it wrong a couple times before you finally get it right. So, what I'm going to do is crack open a beer because I feel like I deserve a cold drink after all that. And then I'm gonna let the engine cool down because it's just too hot to touch. Like it is. It's hot. So I'm gonna let that cool down. I got the fan on it. Have me a little cold drink, and then we're gonna get back to work. So stick around. All right, guys. So I got the throttle cable in right now so far. And if you order one of these low car kits, it comes with this piece right here, right? You don't need it. What I did was I just took it off, and you just feed the piece with the little ball on the end through. Now, ideally, you would have done this around the same time you took the old one off. So you'd probably still have that special clip that holds the cable in place. I lost mine, so what I did was I took a small washer and then a bigger washer and stacked them up, ran the cable through. But I want to show you what we got going on right now. So I kind of got ahead of myself because I got the throttle cable right here, right? But in order to put the kickdown cable on, you got to put it on the back side of right here. So I got to kind of take some of this apart real quick so I can get that into place. If I had read the directions, which I never do, I would have known that, but whatever. So yeah, so I'm gonna have another beer and then start filming again maybe, so I can kind of get a little bit tighter of a shot so you can see what I did wrong just in case anybody else is doing this on one of these. So went ahead and hooked it all up and tested the pedal. Pedal works great. Everything is dialed in. Another little tip that I had issues with was when you cut the braided line, because they give you way too much. What we did that worked really well was we took some electrical tape and we wrapped it around it really, really, really tight, right? And then we made our cut, and that kind of helped keep a lot of the wire in place so that it would slide into the fitting. The first time I just cut it and we didn't think ahead. I just cut it and then it, frayed all out and we couldn't get it to go in, so we kind of had to redo it. But yeah, so let me get ready and I'll kind of start showing y'all what we got going on to finish up this kickdown cable. All right, so in case you don't know how all this works, or you don't feel like reading the directions, let me move these wires. This is what it looks like when it's set up correctly. Just gonna show y'all real quick in case it helps somebody else. It's super simple if you follow the directions. For the kickdown cable, I actually ended up using the entire thing. I just ran it real wide so it wouldn't bind. But yeah, let me show y'all. Fail. Pulled my microphone off. All right, let me come up underneath here and show y'all what we got going on, if I can. So as you can see, I mean, I could pull just a tiny bit of slack out of that, but it's functioning just fine. And there you can kind of see my shifter linkage for my B&M ratchet shifter, and yeah, so everything's working great. On to the next thing. Welcome back, guys. So remember a while back when I had to take this out, I told y'all that this right here, you can see where I had accidentally broke it. Well, after that, last night, I also broke off this corner, and I broke off this corner because that's just what happens with me. So what I did was I took a little bit of super glue and I super glued them in, and then I took some clear epoxy, and on the back side I epoxied where the crack was to help hold it. And I think that's gonna do just fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back with some black paint, probably like some acrylic paint, because look at all of that needs to be touched up anyways. So I'm gonna come back through and just touch up all this paint and do what I can to bring this this cluster back to life. But yeah, that's where we're at with this. So I decided to bring this inside because it's very hot, and I decided that working in the air conditioning just seemed a little bit better. So I think what makes sense to do now is I'm gonna put everyone's name, I'm gonna write out everyone's name that commented on the giveaway video. I'm gonna put it in my hat, draw a name out, and yeah, whoever's name I draw wins the shirt and koozie. All right, guys, so I'm sitting in my living room. I'm sitting in my kitchen. I was looking at the living room. I got a foster kitten meowing. I got my daughter watching cartoons. So if you hear some noises in the background, I apologize for that. I wanted to show y'all, this is everyone who watched the video to the end and saw the giveaway information. So I wrote everybody's name down, and I'm going to take some scissors, cut them all out, crinkle up every little name, every little piece, throw it in the hat and pull one out. So, all right, guys, we got everybody's name in the hat. I'm not gonna do the picking. We're gonna let her do the picking. Can you take one out for me? Just one. Who we got? Oh, you gotta put one back. Who we got? Oh, nope, grab one. Grab one. All right, let's see, who's the winner?
Me.
Jack Wagner III.
I'm the winner.
And she's the winner. You're both winners. Hey, bud, you won the hat. The hat. I'm wearing a hat. I'm the worst about that. You won the shirt. You won the koozie. So do me a favor. Email me at blownbudgetgarage931 at gmail.com. And yeah, I'll announce this. I'll put this up in the description also. No, I won't do that, because then you'll know right away. That takes away the fun. Listen, this is too long. Hold on. Congratulations. Email me, blownbudgetgarage931 at gmail.com. I'll get in touch with you. I'll get you your shirt and koozie. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Say bye.